the deeper thing for me was I let, and I'll keep it very brief, simple things that I didn't enjoy as a fuel. So I just thought, right, I don't particularly like enjoying wearing a suit every single day on a hot train into London. I don't particularly like flying in economy class where I can't move my legs. Like it wasn't these like massive things. And then I would say, right, I'd really like to live life where I can just enjoy a bit of luxury. But actually, that's not that important, because what's more important is mum and dad, we live in a council house, we need to get out of it, conditions are not good, let's take care of them. So when there were times of doubt, I realised I can't have that conversation with them in 6 years and say, I just didn't do anything about it. Not because there was no opportunity, not because there was no plan, I just didn't show up. How could I do that? I'd be ashamed of myself. So I used to use things like that and imagining myself in 5, 6, 7, 10 years and just having nothing to show for it. One life, right? One opportunity. I'm going to do something great for them. And I still, to this day, I get the most amount of enjoyment when I see my nephews and nieces and they're running around the tennis court, enjoying themselves. I don't even use all of my facilities. I just get joy out of seeing they're safe, they're protected, they feel confident, and I genuinely have that same feeling for every single one of you. When I see that you get 200k funded account, whatever it is, I feel that same joy of like, right, they're making that step forward. A lot of you are more than qualified to make money. If we look at your technicals, you are more than qualified to do this, but there's just something missing, and you're not drawn to something that when you're going through a bit of hardship, that's going to get you out of bed at the same time, even when most people would forgive you for just sleeping in a bit, because you're going through something tough. And yeah, I just want to dedicate this to my dad, everything that he's taught, even though he's never had a conversation with me, right? It's you just observe. And if you all use your senses more and pay attention to, oh, these people are profitable, they seem to think this way, talk this way, behave this way, look at these smaller details, you're so much closer to where you are than what you think. So thank you for your commitment, everyone. I appreciate it all. I really do. Yeah, the success. Well, 2024, massive year. Who have we got here? Yeah, hi, brother.
Good?
Yeah, good. How's it going? Good to see you. How are you? Likewise, yeah, very well yourself. Yes. How are you? Yeah, good. Yourself? Yeah, really good. How are you? Good to see you. Love the jacket. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Alfie, nice to meet you. How was your journey in? How's it going?
Yeah, good mate.
Good to see you. Donna, how are you? Congratulations again. Yeah, you're very welcome. Nice to meet you, Jack. Pleasure. Nice to meet you. Pleasure.
Hey mate,
Yes, how's it going?
Really well.
Here he is in his Christmas jumper. Good to see you, mate. How are you? I like this.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Something
A
different.
little Ralph Lauren, is it?
Yeah.
I've got the slippers of that. I should have brought them for you.
I would have worn it.
Do you think this is bigger than the last one? Yeah. I can't remember in this venue how many we had. Oh, was it 50? So we're like over double that in this meetup. Here he is. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? Yeah. How are you? Got that Chelsea smile.
You're getting nervous, buddy. You're getting very nervous. You know you're getting
How are you?
nervous.
How are you?
Nice to meet
Good to see you. How's it going? Right, so it is the 2024 end of year meetup. This year has gone by so fast. This is our biggest meetup that we have ever done. This is a way to celebrate our success. Of course, we had the Wealth Creation Dubai Mastermind with our funded students just very recently. Yeah, good.
For the event.
Oh, you're not? I'll still shake your hand anyway. We also want to sign off the year as a community, as a collective, setting massive goals for 2025. Next year in particular is going to be a bigger focus on funding for how much we achieve this year. So we hope you enjoy the day. I'm sure you're going to be meeting some students. It's going to be a big one. Very strong finish to the end of this year. Do you think anyone will find out that these are all paid actors?
No.
All right, we're going to have a good day. Make it look real. Yes. How's it going?
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Here he is, the big man. How are you?
Good to see you.
Where's your sailor hat? You didn't bring it.
I
You
lost
didn't
it. I lost it.
Is this on? So you can hear me? Right. Alright, basically, what's this year taught you about yourself, or being in Falcon, what's it taught you this year?
This year,
Yeah.
I've learned that I can do anything.
Oh, brilliant.
I believe in myself.
Yeah.
Previously, I've been there for everybody else. this year is about being there for me. Rewild has helped me do that. And that's what I'm going to take forward next year and believe in myself. And don't get me wrong, I know this is the start of a very long journey. And there are going to be ups and downs, but I know that I can do it. I've got the same resources. I breathe the same air as everyone else. So I can do this.
Brilliant.
I can do it.
And you've got the wisdom of experience as well.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Many people don't have that.
I know.
So that's a massive edge.
That brings good and bad though, to be honest, because you've got quite a lot of baggage as well.
Yeah.
But Rewild helps you to error correct that.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
So, congratulations first of all.
Thank you.
But I wanted to ask you, this year,
Yes.
what's this year taught you about you that you didn't know before? And how are you going to use that to become a better version of yourself in next year?
My biggest problem that I've had this year was that I was at one point minus 9% on my FTMO account.
Okay.
And that was the same account as when I passed. So I managed to get through that. So my confidence now is way more than in the beginning of the year.
Brilliant.
And also Falcon, it's a way of life, not only trading. So me and Jamie and John and Harry and some other guys did the Brighton Marathon together as well. So I've grown a lot as a person, I've done many things that I didn't think that I could achieve.
That's very good. I'm proud of you.
Falcon taught me a lot about perseverance, just don't give up and don't give any excuses. And also with Rewild, just analyze your thoughts, your brain, and it will probably have a bigger impact than just working on the thing.
Priya.
I came here all the way from New Zealand just to be here today.
No way.
Just the strength that I have within myself. It's easy just to give up, but with this community, you've got so much support that they've got everything there to make you succeed.
Hello everyone. I was just sitting here thinking, I was going to go into a webinar then. I was just sitting here thinking as it was talking, nearly 8 years. And it's just wow, I'm looking at the room thinking, wow, 8 years. We had a journal. I started writing this project as to what it would come into. I didn't know every detail, but it is a blessing to have you all here. So thank you to everyone that flew in, whether it's Switzerland, Cyprus, whatever the trip, you made it here. Some of you that came in said, who's a little bit nervous? First meetup, show of hands. Yeah. So it's good. These are good nerves. It shows that you care about it. Even Annie's nervous, see? Right? It shows that you care about this. And it's the same for us. It doesn't get any easier, but I'll tell you what does get easy is that when we see the success that everybody's achieved and where we're going, this has been a very, very big breakthrough year. It has been absolutely huge. So I just want to start with a particular story that I think was just phenomenal. So we just had the Dubai Mastermind. So who was at the Dubai Mastermind? Show of hands that were here. So there might be some. Yeah, perfect. Right, so the Dubai Mastermind, there was a very special story. So show of hands, who knows Oscar? Of course. So before I even start, big round of applause for Oscar. He has achieved so much. So I just want to give him a special shout out so people understand more about his journey. So I knew he had done well, and you've probably seen his journey throughout the years of showing up. He's been in Discord. He's really put himself out there. Meeting him in person, you'll see his podcast, it comes out tonight, you'll love it. Meeting him in person, I knew he'd done well, but I didn't realize how well he'd been doing. When you start to look at the numbers, how much money that he's made, how consistent the payout. So I thought, okay, maybe 2 or 3, but he's on 7, 8. It's so consistent. And I think he's made closer to 40,000 USD. But the thing that stuck out to me more, what do you think the average salary would be in his village per month? How much?
$100.
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah. Just to check that you're listening. But just put it into perspective, 100 USD. Imagine that is genuinely your life and it's 100 USD. You're in a village looking around. Even myself, I'm standing here thinking, how would you actually have that belief that you would actually make it out? I'm not sure that I would. Even getting to this position, I would look around thinking, okay, I want to do this, but am I really going to get to that kind of level? And if I do make it, maybe if I make $1,000 a month, massive, I'm 10 times the average salary. But to make 10K in a payout and then regular $2,000, that it's just phenomenal. It just goes to show that if you listen, and I think if you pay attention to his episode tonight, you'll resonate with parts that maybe you take him for granted without realizing. Maybe you don't realize you're sleeping on something that is the catalyst that's going to get you to from where you are now to that next level. This year in particular, I'm going to save all the other juice of the stats because part of me just wants to go into everything. We're so excited for today, so really do enjoy it. If you're nervous, mingle with people. Everyone's exactly the same, but one thing you'll always look back on is these kind of moments, the energy that you take from the meetup, and for ourselves as well. Every single time we leave, we're like more fired up. So very special year. Thank you for all coming.
It's on the right hand side, well, it's showing you how much, that is your cost. That's your spread cost with Trade Nation. And this is the spread cost for all these other companies. Now you can imagine getting this past our legal department, getting this past compliance, took quite some time. There is logic of how we've done this. You're managing directors of your own business and saying, if you do this, then you're going to have a better bottom line. All I'm saying is please put costs, consider costs as part of your journey. That's it from me. Thanks again, guys, for giving me the opportunity to speak and sponsor you. What you're doing, the community you're building is fantastic. I love it. We've got the guys here to speak to. We've got Josh, Lucy, and Clifford. Any questions, let us know. Anything you want to know about the industry, let us know. We're very transparent. And I look forward to having a chat with you throughout the afternoon.
How many people, Mark, came to this mastermind that said, a year ago, I almost wrote myself off?
Yeah.
So many
more than
people.
you'd think, which is crazy how one person in particular, of course, we'll keep his name private, but on the verge of giving up this particular year. And I was thinking, really, you giving up? And now they've got like a few 100,000 in capital. So it goes to show you, no matter, even when you're doing well, if someone's not doing well, I understand, because you'll have these like timelines, I should be making money by now, I've invested this much, it's not gone well. I get that part. Not when people have already had success and they're doing well, but just not as fast as what they want, and they're still willing to have that thought in their head to entertain, is this really for me? I was thinking that's crazy. That just goes to show how much of a mental challenge trading actually is. But usually your success will come off the back of a really difficult period when you're challenged the most. So just a portion of our success that we wanted to share with you guys, but it's just going to get bigger and bigger, and it's just a section of what we know of. Like I just found out today, I didn't realize until Ibrahim told me. Where's Anton? Show of hands. Yeah, Anton, congratulations. So he just secured 200K on FTMO? Yeah, very well done, my friend. We also have Donna. Where is Donna? There she is. Congratulations, Donna. She just recently become a portfolio asset manager on the in-house fund. Very unique journey, and honestly, so proud of you, Donna, what you've achieved. Of course, we've been talking in Discord, and just to see the shift in mindset and focus, you absolutely smashed it. So yeah, congratulations. When we look at it, right, so this is really interesting. So 90% of people, or we look at the first part, right, 95% of our funded traders go through the rewild program. 90% that pass will stay for 3 months. But the interesting one here is like, that's an incredible stat, but the 82, what is the difference between the drop-off? Ibby, what do you think? What is the difference between this drop-off here from 3 months to just 12? I've not even spoken about 2 years yet, because we're starting to get into the further stats.
When I'm speaking to people on coaching calls and they're talking about, oh, Ibby, I can just, like for example, I won't mention his name, he was at the mastermind, and he was going through a drawdown, and basically he managed it like so exceptionally well, even I was caught off guard. And I was like, how did you do that? He goes, oh, it was pretty simple for me. I didn't realize until later he actually had rewired, right? I didn't know, because we've never discussed it. We've only had like 2 coaching calls. But that goes to show, like, just off the back of what you're saying there, I'm gonna ask you all a question for a second. Who started trading about 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Just raise of hands. And of those people who've raised their hands, who's read like Forex Trading for Beginners book? Or have you come across any books? Trading in the Zone? I mean, who's read any trading books in here? Right, a lot of people. How many of you can attribute the success that you've got right now to that trading book? Like 0. So the same logic applies, that if you sit and think, oh, well, I can just read Trading in the Zone, or I can read a psychology book, or I can do a few self-development courses and I'll think like a profitable trader. If that was the case, a lot of you would have no issues thinking whatsoever.
And this was one that, this is one, so we're looking at success. Let's look at the other side, because nothing is all, 100% everyone wins and no one loses. Recently we had someone pass on the fund, 60K account, portfolio asset manager, and we spoke about this at the mastermind. Within 2 weeks, they've lost their account. Just anyone, just out of curiosity, why do you think that may have happened? They had a change in routine, change in work, just change, that's it. And I think it's really easy to just almost use that as an excuse as to, well, I had a lot of things going on, I had new responsibilities, or whatever the excuse is, it's still an excuse. And we've trained you in a way that shouldn't happen. I'm looking at it saying, are you sure? Because when Ib told me, I said, no, it can't be the case. Because mathematically, because I asked how many trades, he told me the amount of trades. I was like, well, I told you to stick to 0.25%. So again, it's just a not following of instructions. Sometimes, especially if you know you've got something going on, you have to be able to protect yourself against yourself. I didn't know he didn't have rewired, right? It's not that rewired is this thing that you're guaranteed to success, but at what point do we have to keep ignoring the facts and looking at, for some reason, when they're going through it, they're keeping their capital. We thought at the beginning of when we created rewired at the start, it might be 70-30 because we knew how good it was, but naturally you will never get 100% of everything because you can't rely on how someone's going to use the program. You can't rely on how they're the speed of when they actualize it, whether they'll slip off. We can't rely on that. So I think 70-30 would be more of a fair stat, but this is absolutely phenomenal from what we've got. So again, at what point do you look at it? Because I'm speaking plainly as if we were just sitting in a coffee shop or just having a drink together. When you treat trading like a business, as to what Andy was saying, at what point do you look at, if you have 400k of capital and you don't have the right mindset training, and that is your income, that is your ability, and you've got, let's say, 50k personal account, that is your ability to make money, and you're taking risks with yourself, that you're just going to trust yourself, that you've had the right upbringing, right? So who here comes from a family upbringing where you had really wealthy parents? Hardly any, myself included. So the chances that you came into trading as someone who was brought into a family of entrepreneurs, trained you as well how to think, trained you how to think under pressure, trained you how to negotiate, gave you the financial literacy, and you had all of that training, the chance is almost zero. So it shows you that when you come into trading, you don't come into trading with the right mindset, and doing a few self-help books is just not enough.
You see, many people don't talk about the after effect. When you've got the capital and you're profitable, you're trading enough money, you've hit your golden number, you're sustainable in terms of cash, what are you going to do next? Right? People think of, okay, I'll help my parents out, etc., but they don't think beyond that. What's your lifestyle going to look like afterwards? Is how you're trading now going to accommodate with that lifestyle? There's all these things you've got to consider and have that plan. So prop firms and investors, why that? A lot of you don't have access to large enough amount of personal funds. Many people don't. They haven't come from a wealthy background. So the only way you can actually leverage that is through prop firms or investors. Some of you might not have access to investors. So we've got prop firms. But the goal is, and people forget this, that you actually need to leverage your personal trading capital, obviously, but that's the nucleus of your trading. Because if you don't focus on that, what's going to happen is you put all your eggs in one basket, you focus on prop firms alone, or holding your cash in terms of an investment with the private investor, and that's all you've got. But why not take advantage of these three things? It's smart.
In 2025, there is so much more that we're actually still mapping out, so this is going to be updated on our end of year webinar, but we just wanted to share with you a few things. Because all Rewild is just my mind dump into this way of thinking, like a trader mindset and life. I wouldn't be able to regulate my emotions, show up for my family, do what we need to do, and deal with the chaos without it. So nothing is going to hit you as hard as these situations, ups and downs that we go through, but you just have to dig deep and find something that is deeper than what you can imagine. Because for some of you, you might think your why is something, but I encourage you to go into something deeper, that because you can talk yourself out of a lot of goals. You hear me talk about it a lot, right? You can talk yourself out of goals really easily, but you're not going to talk yourself out of retiring your parents if that's like your real goal and you've seen them struggle. You're not going to talk yourself out of these tough situations. And I think sometimes a lot of you are more than qualified to make money. If we look at your technicals, you are more than qualified to do this, but there's just something missing. And you're not drawn to something that when you're going through a bit of hardship, that's going to get you out of bed at the same time, even when most people would forgive you for just sleeping in a bit because you're going through something tough. Like, find whatever that is. And yeah, I just want to dedicate this to my dad, everything that he's taught, even though he's never had a conversation with me, right? It's you just observe. And if you all use your senses more and pay attention to, oh, these people are profitable, they seem to think this way, talk this way, behave this way, look at these smaller details, you're so much closer to where you are than what you think. So thank you for your commitment, everyone. I appreciate it all. I really do.
I flew all the way from New Zealand just for this.
New Zealand?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to come here. And in that clicking moment, you would never have known the month prior. Next month it's going to click. So when we tell you to just stay in it for a little bit longer, all of the pieces will suddenly click. How good does it feel knowing that, yeah, it's one of those moments that I can't wait for everyone, because there will be a day where you just wake up and like, I think I get it now. Yeah. Don't underestimate how quickly it scales up as well. You don't, like that 8 months it took to click, you might get funded and then nothing happens for like 6 months. And then in 3 months, it all floods in. And you go from like 40K to 300K. We've seen like Anton, for example, 200K that he just got. We're just at this last section. You never know when it's gonna go the same way you don't know when something's gonna click. I think it's the hardest advice that I can give to everyone. I'm like, right, stay in long enough to succeed. They're like, but what does that mean? Because I can't put a time frame. But what I mean by that is that I know you all learn differently. So I don't know your clicking moment. So it's hard for me to go to know. I just have to say, look, I understand it's convenient for me to say, stay here for 20 years. That's not what I mean. I just mean like, stay here for long enough for those things to click. So you're like, right, I actually get it now. And I hope people see that genuineness of like, I just want you to stick around long enough that you don't make those mistakes where you're this close. I had someone message me yesterday. He was in Falcon. He's one of my first 50 people. He left after a year, went to this strategy, done the whole dance, and now he's coming back with no ego. And I said to him, I was like, you know, you were right there. You was in the right place in the very beginning. So for me, that's so painful for me, because they would have been trading like multiple 7 figures right now. So when you're in a good place, I think you just have to recognize it and go, I'm going to really do this. What, as in he wants to sell? Wants to sell the cryptocurrency? It depends what cryptocurrency. Which ones? Exactly, that's why I was asking. Yeah, so there is an element of, you still probably have a little bit longer to go, and then there'll be an opportunity, yeah, because there is like a certain point of, when does greed get out of control, you know? If you started with it and you made a good amount, like you have a fast track to then use that money to start trading with that money. And like in the future, there'll be other runs, you know, like eventually the runs will come to an end, and you'll wish, like you put all these price points of like, but I think it's going to go there. No one knows where things are going to go. So protect your risk, use that of capital. But I think based off of what you've got, you've probably still got a little bit more. Like we're just breaking towards the all-time high of 4.8. You can see the overall structure. Like it's moving towards that. If we close like this on the weekly as well, that's lovely, right? So you've got a lot of strength coming in there. The way I see it, if you're at 4.87, that's not that much in terms of market cap coming into the market. And then what, Bitcoin's probably hovering around that again, really good. That's a good sign. Maybe the top isn't even in yet, who knows, right? This is just, the way I see it with this particular one, with XRP, is this is just suppressed price. It should have already been there before because it had the case and everything else. But if you look at the natural rotation, you've already got like Bitcoin still not even fully done yet. And it's almost like this time round, there is so much more attention and it's still early. So for us, it feels like everyone's talking about crypto. Trust me, not everyone's talking it, they don't know about it yet. You'll know when everyone's talking about it. So I think you have a bit more time. Well, enjoy today. We're gonna have some food soon as well, some lunch. It's gonna be an incredible day.
Thank you.
But next year is gonna be a big year for you too.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Right, so the gents just flew in from Toulouse in France, representing France. I really appreciate it. You know what's incredible about them? One of them, English, a little bit difficult, still showing up, and is actually, I think it'd put a lot of people to shame, because most people wouldn't be able to even speak the level of French that he can speak English. So he speaks phenomenal. And the other one thinks his English isn't good, but he's telling me in English perfectly that his English isn't good. So the irony, no, really good, really committed. I love to see that. They shared with me some really important parts about not just the strategy, but it's the things I do at the end, so the SMB. They was going through some tough times, and it's helped them be more confident, put things into perspective. That's where it goes to show, like you never know who you're helping, what you're saying, what question you're answering. And I think that's what I love about Falcon, is that we just keep giving and giving, and we know people go through hard times. So to be that light to people that are committed, they're super committed, super genuine guys. I love moments like that, because that fires me up even more, knowing that you never know who you're impacting in a positive way. So I absolutely love it. Nicolas, come in, brother. Right, are you enjoying the day? We're just talking about the two gentlemen. They just come in from France. I love that. People all around the world. I just met someone who flew in from New Zealand.
Nice.
And we have the man from
Vienna. Nice to meet
Vienna.
you guys.
How have you found the day so far?
I love it.
Yeah.
Like always, to see you and all of, as you always say, the dedicated students. Especially today, I have to confess that it humbles you, but in this inspirational way. As one of the students said, I can do it because they can and we can. That's the most important thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a moment. Everyone's moment is different.
Yeah.
You never know how long something's going to take for someone. I just spoke to someone, the lady from New Zealand, 8 months, and then things have started to click.
Yeah.
That's why we say, I don't know the moment it's going to click for you. All I know is that I will teach you the right way, so it will click for you. You just have to have trust that every single person in this room will learn differently. I can't control how quick you learn. That's why I shared something very difficult that I was going through, because I need to use something that it can seem as a negative as some kind of positive. You know, I'd like to think my dad would want me to use that for someone to go, my problem is not a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a very fortunate position. Oh, maybe I didn't achieve every goal I wanted this year, but I'm in the right place to live the life I want to live.
Yeah.
Now make 2025 the most intentional year yet. Maybe not the best year yet, because who knows when their best year is going to come, but the most intentional year yet, make it that. Because you never know what you need that year to get to the next level. Let's say year one for me, I was like, right, I want to make loads of money, make nothing. Year two, I'm like, right, I want to make loads of money, made nothing. But in year two, a lot of mindset stuff had been developed, and routines and processes, organization, all of the traits that were going to help me in the future, all was made in year two. And I was like, oh, interesting. Let me go into year three, refining the processes. Great. Year three, still don't make any money, but those processes that I refined incredibly well. Then I go into year four thinking, wow, this is good. It'd be nice to make money, but I'm so far in, I recognize that I'm really close to being someone that would be, I genuinely, before I had any money to trade with, I genuinely felt like if someone gave me £100,000 tomorrow, I would trust myself not to fuck it up. I don't know if I'm going to make loads of money, but I would trust myself that I wouldn't lose loads because everything is quite deliberate at this point. And then after the fourth year, that's when it started to click even more. And 4.5, that's when the money started to be made. And in such a short period of time, if I actually look at the duration that I shared on the DXY chart, it's like 7 or 8 months within like almost nothing to then like £400,000 of investment capital. And that would be like saying, yeah, you made it in like 8 months. I'm like, no, I didn't. I made it in being comfortable with not making money for 4 years. That's how I made it. And then after that, it scales exponentially. That's why I say you don't get rich quick, you make money fast, because all of those years compound. Because it would be an insult. Imagine like next year you have a 7-figure year and they're like, oh, you've done that in 1 year. You'd be like, no, let's take this back. Let's look at all the hours I didn't make no money and I still believed and I still done everything that I was meant to do.
How would you actually show them?
You show them the broker statements.
Broker statements.
Yeah, and even that doesn't mean anything. So don't lead with the graph. Have the graph to support the numbers so they can see, because they don't know what if I'm an investor and I've made money in property, I don't know all those transactions, and if there's too many trades on one day, I don't know what I'm looking at, because how do I know if he took 5 positions on the same day? That means nothing to me, because I don't know whether that's risky or not. Exactly, but that's why they have to know you. And the best way, Ibby done this with his first investor, I gave him the same advice. I said, start off with something really small. I was like, even if you get 25K off of them, just show them for 3 months what you can do on 25K. Like, start off on money where, like, not that you would lose it, but if you did lose it, it still wouldn't ruin their life. Like, they're willing to take the risk on you to do that. There is no magic number, because every investor is going to be like, so you might get someone who's very, very shrewd and be like, nah, 2 years, you know, like, so you're dealing with, it depends who it is. Where if you have someone like you go to the gym with them and stuff, he might back you, be like, no, Alfie's switched on. Let me just, don't even need to see anything. Just let me give you a small amount. I'm not going to put the pressure on you. I'm willing for this I trust you that you tell me you're not going to fuck this up. Let me see what I can do. And then that's when it starts to get a bit more serious. There is no like perfect formula, because you're dealing with people. Do you know what also is a weird one as well? And I've met many people like this. If they're not trading with enough money, they don't take it serious. We have this problem with people that are almost semi-successful before they come in. They've got like, oh, I make 100 grand a year. And I'm like, right, they're like, oh, if I wanted to, I could get like 80 grand out my bank. So they've got a significant amount of savings. And they're like, but I don't want to trade with that yet because I don't know what I'm doing. So what they do is they open a 10K account and they don't take it serious. And they're like, and 6 months goes by, because they're not hungry to make money, because they're technically making a decent amount, they never do it. So the only way to do it is like, no, you have to top that up to 50. And when they top it up to 50, suddenly they start taking everything seriously. So there's a certain threshold for all of us where you wouldn't take it serious. If I said like £1 per trade, you'd be like, I can't take it serious. There's a certain element that it needs to be like, this is painful if it goes wrong. Most people think that the mind part comes after and it's not important, yet they even to themselves will flawlessly produce on a demo account, and as soon as it goes live, they mess it all up. How do we explain that one then? Surely that doesn't make any sense then. You know, you should be fine. That just shows you, even, and this is on small money as well. This is not even on a lot. This is like, imagine your demo on a 100K demo account, and then now you've got 10 grand of just your real money. Even though it's 10% of it, their whole emotion goes out of whack. Right guys, so we're just wrapping things up towards the end of the day. As you can see behind me, we've still got a full house here. We've got people eating over there. It has been exceptional to share the stories. What has really stood out to me at this particular meetup, the amount of success that people are seeing in the background. We had Anton earlier, before he even came here. I only knew 20 minutes before that he got his 200K account. Other conversations that we've had on a regular basis, people have really leveled up, even more than what we realized. And that just goes to show the togetherness, the community. People recognize we have had a breakthrough year for a reason, is because we leave no stone unturned. We essentially work on everything. So there's a reason why you're seeing so many people here that are thrilled to be here and understand in full belief that they will be exactly where they need to be in 2025, because everything is here. All the infrastructure is here, the commitment is here. We are just showing up every single day, and a lot of the times you are a stone throw away from your next level. So I hope you enjoyed the day thoroughly. We're excited to finish the year strong, but more importantly, I'm telling you guys, 2025 is going to be on a completely different level.